I'm tired of Raskin pretending to be some level-headed, independent voice in our halls of Congress. Guys, he's not. He's a political partisan hack job, okay? And I'm going to show you guys exactly why. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's great to have you here. Please like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell. I would really appreciate it, guys. And yo, if you think I'm wrong about Raskin, if you think this guy's a genius, if you think he's great, a great voice in the Senate, in the halls of Congress, and is doing a great job, hey, let me know in the comments, man. I'm no genius. I love learning from you guys. But dude, I am no fan of Raskin, and I think this dude is a partisan hack, man. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly why I think this dude. And I think, honestly, what he represents is a serious problem, and let's get into it, guys. Raskin demands FBI vetting of Trump nominees and details on Epstein, however you pronounce that guy's name, man. We got a little video intro. Let's check it out, guys.
The Trump transition team is racing through the picks for the new administration. Nearly all of the positions that require Senate approval have been filled, but that may not mean the transition is on schedule because the transition team has not signed the required paperwork. Cabinet choices are not getting the FBI background checks the Senate has traditionally required. Here's ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers.
Tonight, President-elect Donald Trump's second-term cabinet is nearly complete. With a flurry of announcements this weekend, Trump nominating heads for each of the 15 agencies that comprise the cabinet. Among the last chosen, longtime ally Brooke Rollins, nominated for Agriculture Secretary. The most notable announcement, Friday, the president-elect selecting billionaire Wall Street veteran Scott Bessent, an economic advisor and fundraiser for Trump, who also spent years working for a Democratic megadonor. Bessent, a supporter of Trump's proposed use of tariffs and extending tax cuts made in his first term, winning the bitter battle for this top spot. Rounding out the picks, Oregon Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer to lead the Labor Department, and surgeon and regular on Fox News, Dr. Marty Makary, chosen to lead the Food and Drug Administration. The major hurdle tonight, Trump's nominees have not undergone the traditional required FBI background checks ahead of Senate confirmation hearings, because the Trump team still hasn't signed a necessary memo of understanding with the Justice Department.
Everybody's going to get a fair shake. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to be able to go through this process, and we'll let the process work out.
The move alarming some in Congress.
Why wouldn't we get these background checks for the most important job in the United States government?
I don't think the American public cares who does the background checks. What the American public cares about is to see the mandate that they voted in delivered upon.
Lindsay, Republicans will not take control of the Senate until early January. They'll work quickly to hold hearings on President-elect Trump's cabinet nominees to try to confirm them as soon as Trump takes office. Lindsay?
The Trump administration really moving at lightning speed. Karen, thank you.
Yo, how different is how they're handling the background checks versus how the last administration handled them? Is this just a lefty talking point? Like, that's the kind of thing I wonder when I see these types of headlines, man. But we got Jamie Raskin tooting the horn just like everybody else, demanding background checks. Rep. Jamie Raskin on Friday made a series of demands of the Trump transition team, asking for assurances President-elect Trump's cabinet nominees will undergo FBI vetting, while also requesting details about aide Boris F. alleging profiting from promoting those seeking new posts. The letter from Raskin and the top Democrat in the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, comes as the Trump team floated using outside firms to do background checks on its nominees, rather than the traditional practice of having the FBI do so. And that's because the FBI, like we talked about yesterday, has become a complete tool for the corporate establishment, man. And dude, we're going to get into it a little bit more today, man. But Jamie Raskin and how he likes to use the FBI is the perfect example. And I think, honestly, the reason why Trump is using an outside firm is because you can't trust the FBI right now, especially with how the FBI, look, Trump nominated Chris Wray, and Chris Wray had so much pressure that even Chris Wray capitulated to all the pressure, especially from the special counsel and that whole investigation regarding the raid. And we talked about everything they did and why Chris Wray is almost as bad as James Comey in terms of, yo, we got to get rid of him and replace him, and Kash Patel's a great pick, right? But yo, Jamie Raskin is another problem because this guy is constantly calling out whenever someone is attempting to prevent the FBI from being used as a tool for Oppo research, you got people like Raskin coming in to start trying to push and normalize the use of these government institutions as opposition research, as a partisan tool. And it's not like it's any different. The FBI has been that its entire history, man, but it's a problem and it needs to be fixed. And exactly what I'm talking about is right here, guys, right here. We're gonna see in these 42 seconds.
I haven't seen what the proof is that the FBI has been weaponized against a political party or the Department of Justice. Of course, this Department of Justice has brought charges against a Democratic U.S. Senator in New Jersey, a Democratic congressman in Texas. And so some people just seem to think that it should go only in one direction. And if it doesn't, then somehow it's politicized. And I think that's what they mean when they talk about politicization in the deep state. I mean, the deep state, nobody's ever defined it. Apparently, it just means anybody who doesn't do the will of Donald Trump.
Yo, I just figured out this new mic button. Yo, that's ridiculous, man. No one ever defined the deep state. Are you joking, man? Yo, first off, if y'all are under that assumption that no one has ever defined the deep state, I'll define it for you right now. The deep state, otherwise known as the administrative state or the bureaucratic state, all synonyms, is a coalition of people that represent what they as a group consider to be U.S. interests, okay? And this is a coalition of people that are built by being appointed to a position and existing between administrations and existing in a revolving door between corporate lobbying, giant, high up ranking positions in executive firms of corporate firms and international corporations, and then also revolving into regulator positions and administrative oversight positions, right? So you've got appointed administrators, okay, in government, in regulator positions that are overseeing massive corporations, heads of the FDA, heads of the EPA, etc. And then they are in a revolving door where they will be in the EPA, they will be in the FDA, and then all of a sudden they're the head of Pfizer, they're the head of they're the head of Merck. You get what I'm saying? And they revolve between lobbying positions, administrative oversight positions, and then massive high-paying executive job positions, okay? And that revolving door, that coalition of people that exists in that revolving door between lobbies, government, and high-ranking executive positions, that coalition is what people refer to as the deep state, because the massive amounts of money and the long-standing relationship between government and corporate influence has entrenched them in power, and their power and their influence remains between administrations. And so they are considered the deep state because they are essentially an administrative state that wields massive influence over how our government makes decisions, and they are deeply entrenched and difficult to approach as a voter who is only dealing with the public-facing elected officials. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they're called the deep state. That is what the deep state is. You now have a definition of the deep state. It's a bureaucratic state. It's an administrative state, and they exist in a revolving door with lobbies, high-ranking executive positions, and government oversight regulators. That's the deep state. Anytime someone asks, hey, does the deep state exist? There's no deep state. Yo, tell them that, man, because, yo, it's obvious. You can't say that doesn't exist and that relationship doesn't exist. And for this dude to try to play those games, those rhetorical games, you are a dishonest corporatist, bro. Look at this face.